Are you doing this every 600 miles? No?
Shame. Shame!
What's up, riders? Old Man Ronin here. Welcome back to the channel. Yeah, we're back in the shop today because if you listen, it's raining like crazy. And it's not that I don't ride in the rain, it's just that I don't film in the rain. I haven't quite figured out a way to get the GoPro not to go when it's raining out and it gets water in it. So instead of ruining equipment, we're gonna do a shop video, and one that you should be doing every 1,000 kilometers or 600 miles. And that's according to your Royal Enfield Himalayan owner's manual. Stay tuned. Well, before we get started, I thought I'd show you a sticker update on the fridge here in the Old Man Ronin garage. And we've added quite a few. Starting with the Shade Tree Surgeon sticker, as well as Brapstar Garage, which is his garage. And of course, TEC and a few of the other companies that sent me some of their stickers. And if you want to have your sticker on Old Man Ronin Garage's fridge, you know, with plenty of booze and beer, send it to me. And the P.O. box is down in the description. Tools needed for this are really simple. Refer to your owner's manual, obviously first, but also a measuring device and also two 12mm wrenches and some anti-seize. That's really all you need, but we're going to show you exactly what to do next. Man, I gotta apologize for the rain, like I have control over it, but I'll tell you what, it's coming down on that metal roof pretty hard, and we've had nothing but rain for the last 5 days in a row. Again, I mentioned earlier about not taking the GoPros out in the rain. Not that I haven't been riding, I have, and I just got to figure out a way to keep water out of them. Because I've done quite a few videos that turned out to be, well, I had to dry out the GoPro and didn't even, I thought I actually ruined it, but I didn't. Like I said, that's something that's going to happen. Hopefully down the road I can get away to, maybe I'll just do some voiceovers. I haven't decided yet. I think it's really important for people to know how to ride in the rain, and that'll be coming up, but got to figure it out first. Like I say, we've been doing this YouTube channel for 1 year, a little over a year and a month now. And like I said, I want to thank each and every one of you for following me, watching me, subscribing to me, being part of Patreon, and giving me the super chats and the new super thanks down below. That really means a lot, guys. I really appreciate it. But what we're going to talk about today is something that's neglected by, I would say, virtually everybody that has a motorcycle. And I'm going to ask you the question, how many times have you checked your clutch free play?
Nope.
I know it's really more important than what you think. And the reason why I say that is because if you're riding off-road in particular, or just starting out, if you're going up a hill, you're using that friction zone a lot. And you want to make sure that your clutch is set perfectly. So let's take the opportunity right now to head to our Royal Enfield Himalayan owner's manual. And if you look at the periodical maintenance on page 94, line 7, it says it wants you to check your clutch cable free play every 1,000 kilometers, which means 600 miles here in the US. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to adjust the clutch cable free play on your Royal Enfield Himalayan. What they mean by free play in your clutch cable is on your clutch lever, down here you're going to see it before the clutch is actually engaged. There's a little bit of play right there. And according to your service manual, and I know a lot of people don't have a service manual, however, if you're a member of my Patreon page, you get a free copy of the Royal Enfield Himalayan service manual for the BS4 in particular, but most of it still applies to most of it except for when you have ABS and things like that. And as soon as I'm able to get the BS6, then I will put it on the Patreon page as well. But for general stuff like the engine, cables, things like that, the BS4 service manual will work for most things. But what they want to do there is check for 2 to 3 millimeters of play, and you see it right there. Well, that's where this little measuring device comes in. And what I do is I put it right up against the block here where the cable fits into, and then I pull it to where it starts to engage without actually giving any friction. So it's that little bit of play right there. And right there we've got, well, we're right on. I mean, it's 3 millimeters, which is about perfect. So that's because I keep it adjusted and I check it pretty much constantly. I do it with all my motorcycles. I want to make sure, because your clutch is really, really important, particularly if you know how to use the friction zone. So whether it's a Harley, a Honda, or your Himalayan. Oh, that was pretty cool, wasn't it?
Nice.
you want to make sure that you've got your clutch adjusted properly, and that's one of the things that we do with the cable, is to make sure that you got that proper free play. That way, when you're doing the friction zone, you're engaging when you're supposed to and disengaging when you're supposed to. In other words, if it's too tight, your clutch is engaged and you're slipping it constantly. So that's one of the things you want to make sure. And according to the Royal Enfield service manual, it's 2 to 3 millimeters. Well, let's show you how to get that. So I'm going to actually put mine out of whack to show you what we're going to do. On the right side of the bike here, you're going to notice a nut and a nut that connects the clutch cable to this little brace right here. And these are both 12 millimeters. So what we're going to do, and then it connects here down to the main clutch lever. So what we're going to do is we're going to loosen them up. You know, sometimes it's difficult to work around the camera here. Well, now you see we've loosened these up, and I'm going to apply some anti-seize there and here, and what that's going to do is enable just a little bit, and I'll wipe the extras off. What that's going to do is make sure there's no corrosion that will lock these nuts and bolts up. Simply, I'll tell you what, the reason why I do it is because it is critically important in Ohio weather to make sure stuff doesn't corrode. You're going to notice that there's a lot of movement there. Now let's look and see what it did on the clutch. And you can see right here that that really gave it a lot of free play by loosening that up. Well, we don't want that much. So what we need to do is to go back to our clutch lever and adjust it. And that means what we're going to have to do is, to get less play, we're going to tighten this side up. And we've tightened it up quite a bit. Let's go look at our clutch. And you can see, well, that's not enough, so we're going to have to loosen it back up. Let's see if that did it. It looks like it's a little too much yet, so let's go back. It's basically a game of back and forth, unless you've got two people to help you out. Well, let's see. That's exactly where it was before, 3 millimeters, and we've got the clutch adjusted perfectly. Let's go tighten it up. And since I've got the anti-seize on there, let's give it a nice snug. Don't need to go crazy on those, but that way, and of course we're going to wipe it off. There was a factory mark on there a while back, so it really does apply now. Well, now that we've pretty much got it all tightened back up, make sure you push that little rubber boot in over where the cable is, and I'll show you in a future video how to lube these up. We're going to do an entire lubrication video besides, we already did the oil change. We're going to do a lubrication video down the road. But that's basically how you get the clutch adjusted for the clutch cable. You know, I've seen some YouTube channels where they tell you to adjust the clutch by the movement on the lever out here, and yeah, you're going to get a entirely different what do you call it, measurement here. And one of the reasons why I don't nor ever will is because a lot of times people change these clutch levers, and that's going to change the, you know, the closer it is in, the farther it is out, it's going to be a different measurement. Royal Enfield recommends you check it right here with the 3 millimeter, and that's what we're doing. We're checking it and making sure that it's going to give you 3 millimeters of free play. That way your clutch is set perfectly, so when you engage and disengage it, it works out the best way possible. Well, I really hope you've enjoyed this basic maintenance video on something that's often, if not constantly neglected, which is the free play on your clutch cable. Like I said, we're going to mention, or we're going to be doing an entire lubrication on the Royal Enfield Himalayan in future videos. Look for that. If you want a copy of the free service manual, that's on my Patreon page, and you can get there at patreon.com/olmanronin. I offer it to everybody that you can go there and you can do some of this stuff yourself, because it's really easy to do. I mean, one of the things I love about not only Harley Davidson but the Royal Enfield is the fact that you don't need to be a rocket scientist or a computer expert to figure things out, and by God, I'm not. But if you really enjoyed this video and videos like this, make sure you give us a big thumbs up, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notification button, share and comment. You know, I read all the comments and comment on as many as I possibly can. Again, guys, I appreciate everybody that's on Patreon, all the subscribers that we have now. Oh, well, we're really close to 9,000, which is pretty outstanding. I want to hit that 10,000 mark, guys, so if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. And above all else, make sure you ride safe and keep her on two wheels.